Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Ace is the place. And, we're getting close to that time of year when you may want to consider getting a weather radio. Ace is the place. We're going to have some weather radio events coming up here in the spring to get you ready for severe weather. It's almost like, though, has it ever really ended, severe weather season? Nah, not this time around. I mean, we've had our little bouts of severe weather. Thankfully, we've had none of that lately. But, with this warmer air and the way the patterns have been going this year and this season, it hasn't much been like winter. The only winter we really had was, Christmas, when we had snow, and then we had sub freezing and sub zero temperatures. Remember that? That was about really the only winter we've had thus far. And as I've mentioned here lately, I don't see the pattern really changing all that much. We're going to go right into spring. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a rough spring or, all this warmth. I've heard different people ask me, does this mean we're going to have a really hot summer? It does not mean that. It all depends on how the pattern goes from here through spring, through summer. It's not a precursor of things to come. As you know, these weather patterns change often, and we just happen to be in the kind of pattern that is unusually warm. And we've set records twice this week already. I don't think we're going to do that today. Everything has reset back to where it should be for this time of the year, which is, low 50s. That's where we ought to be this time of the year. And we're continuing to see in the upper flow some of these little pesky showers that show up. These are all pretty light. And we continue to see some of these around this morning, as you can see. And there's another one of those disturbances just west of us over toward the Paducah area that's helping squeeze out just a little bit of moisture. And I do mean a little bit. Once you get a shower this morning or sometime today, it's just going to be one of those that, there's a little bit of rain, and you turn on your windshield wipers, maybe the delay setting, and then it's over. That's kind of the way it's going to be all weekend. The bigger story is going to be what comes on Monday. And as I hinted about this yesterday, it's going to be about wind and lots of it. And even next week, it looks like we are just going to be in a pattern here that is going to be set up for us to get a lot of wind. Winds of March? Yeah. Yeah, because it will be March next week. Isn't that crazy? Wow. We're already into March, pretty much. Okay. Here's a look at that 10-day blender. And we take a look at temperatures, and you can see we'll be mid 50s today, a little bit warmer than yesterday. We hit 51 for a high temperature yesterday at the airport in Bowling Green, the official high. The average is 54, so we were just 3 degrees shy of the average after a record-breaking 80 degrees the day before. We went from 80 to 51. Welcome to Kentucky. It's kind of like this, even when we don't have one of these off seasons, it's kind of this way. But anyway, there you see we rebound pretty quickly back to 60 tomorrow. Then mid 70s, folks, mid 70s again on Monday. And that's when that low pressure system that I'll show you, that's going to come across the middle part of the country and bring us some very strong winds. I can't emphasize enough the strong winds that are going to come in here. We're talking 50, 55, and maybe even up to 60 miles per hour. That would be considered severe winds. So we may see some severe thunderstorm warnings on Monday, and there's not a rumble of thunder at all. But that would be severe thunderstorm criteria when the winds get 58 miles per hour officially. If we have that, even radar indicated winds of 58 or higher, that's considered a severe thunderstorm warning. So you may get some of those. There's no such thing as a gusty wind warning. I mean, there are and there may even be some high wind warnings on Monday. But they'll come up as severe thunderstorm warnings. So I just want you to know that. Then we dip a little on Tuesday, then head right back again to the mid 70s Wednesday, which is the first day of March. March is going to come in with winds and warmth. It's going to come in, yeah, like a lion, probably, most likely, it appears. Then we kind of level off and hit the reset button again by next Thursday, Friday. Next weekend will be cool like we are this weekend, or cooler in the mid 50s, but that's still where we're supposed to be for the beginning of March. And then we head right back into the 60s. Again, as I've said over and over and over, just about every single day that I've done these updates, I see no winter, none, in the coming weeks. Now, there may be still that outlier out there. There could be that one time when we go, boom, boy, that was a hit of winter, and then it's done. It's over. But I don't even see that coming in the pattern anytime soon. So we may be completely done with winter, even though the calendar says we're still there. It appears that we're just we're, by all intents and purposes, we're done with winter. All right, here's a look at temperatures this morning. It is starting out chilly. Temperatures mostly in the 30s this morning as I do this at 5:14 a.m. The southern half of Kentucky a little bit warmer, in the 40s and even close to 50. There's a 50 down in Albany, Clinton County, around 50 this morning, but everybody else in the 40s and the 30s. Nothing below freezing this morning, so you don't have to worry about any of that light rain coming down, being frozen. Although, yesterday when I was on my way to the radio station, I did see a little bit of tiny little ice pellets, and I could hear it hitting the truck, and I could hear it hitting the leaves that are in the yard. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. And then I look around, and it's little tiny ice pellets. Some of you may find that this morning. You get that colder layer on top of us, and it could, just for a brief moment, change it to a little pellet of ice, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. That's the closest thing to any kind of winter weather that I'm seeing anywhere anytime soon for us. All right, let's take a look at the maps here. The patterns, as I spoke of, this is the current picture. And again, we're in one of those situations where the cold air, the really cold air, it's staying trapped to the north. And we're the benefactors of, even though it's chilly right now, we're still the benefactors of this warmer, more zonal flow that's coming out of the Pacific and the Baja of California. And that flow like that is going to continue, even though this big, powerful low pressure system is the one that's going to travel across the country this week, but pretty rapidly. And that's good news, because the rapid movement of that low means it's not going to be around very long to cause a lot of problems. Here today for us, yeah, there's going to be these little showers that kind of in the flow, in the upper flow, continue to push through. You may get, like you're getting this morning, this little bit of light rain and sprinkles, then it stops for a few hours, then you'll get another little batch of light rain. This is nothing that's really all that organized. So it's not going to be a washout this weekend. Whatever rain falls is just going to be light. And then it moves on, as you see here. High pressure is really the dominating factor over the south. But here comes our low pressure system, and this is the one that's going to be the troublemaker for all the wind that we're going to see or actually feel beginning Sunday night into Monday. So let's move the timeline here, and we see that high pressure hangs on for us. And here again in the upper flow, we get this little bit of light rain that tries to work in here. This is looking at Sunday morning, and Sunday morning, tomorrow morning, we may see some of these again, like we're seeing this morning, some of those light little pesky showers, just enough to turn on the windshield wiper, and then it's gone. Here comes our low pressure system that's traversing across the Four Corners, Nevada, Utah, west of the Rockies. And notice that the warmer air now starts to take more of a dip. That's the low pressure system. But then it goes way up to the north, in through the Central Plains for a time, and then back down. And this is where we're continuing to see this scrunching, if you will, between two systems. You've got high pressure to the east, you've got that powerful low to the west, and it puts the squeeze, it's like two fists coming together. That's why there's going to be just an enormous amount of wind that comes in with this thing as we get into tomorrow night and into Monday morning. So let's advance, go through the rest of Sunday. There you see the light, pesky little showers, not a big deal. But look at this thing getting organized now. Look at that, 985 millibars. And it keeps deepening and deepening and deepening. But the path of this thing is going to be, as you saw, coming out of the Four Corners, going through the central part of the country, and then up into the Great Lakes. So the path is not, for that low, is not going to be here, but it's going to be close enough to where we get the residual winds out of this. I'm not looking for severe weather, but as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, the Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Service folks are kind of going, there may be some severe thunderstorm warnings on Monday, and there's no severe thunderstorm. Because when we think thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm, we think, lightning, thunder, gusty winds, hail, all that. We'll have showers, we'll have gusty showers, but the winds will hit that criteria of 58 miles per hour or higher, which would make it a severe thunderstorm warning. So when those warnings come out on Monday, don't worry, it's not going to be like tornadoes and your typical severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be because of the wind by itself. And look at these. Let me highlight these isobars. Look at this. Look, they're all so tightly packed within this, even way out ahead of the low pressure system. We're going to have these gusty winds. You can see them all lining up there. That's the wind component. Pressure between low pressure, the gradient, we call it, between low pressure and high pressure. And that's what, forces the winds to do what they're doing. So let's move from this. You can see a line of thunderstorms now. They will get some severe weather down in the Panhandle, Texas, Oklahoma. Let's see the timeline there. This is Sunday night, tomorrow night. As we get into the beginning of Monday, we watch this move across, and look at that. Ooh, look at this, 983 millibars. It continues to deepen as it moves across Kansas and into Missouri, and you're talking some lines of thunderstorms here bowing out. That's evident of the winds. Gradient winds falling down from above us and then just hitting the ground. That can do some damage. And those tight winds start to really get closer and closer to us, even starting Sunday night, tomorrow night. We'll get some of these strong winds just flowing in here, really just trying to, blow around and make some noise, secure anything that you've got outdoors with this, because we could get 45, 55, up to 60 mile per hour winds as we start into Monday morning. So let's advance to that period when this thing is really in full force. Look at that. It goes, let me back that up one. Look at that. 981 millibars. That is a strong low pressure system. And look at here, these winds. Wow. I mean, that's rough. But that's a little bit of rain, but then the winds, that's going to be the big story out of this system as it moves through. So, excuse me, no real severe weather except for the wind. There we go. This is Monday at about, midday or so, late morning to midday. And the storm begins to, instead of deepen, it begins to weaken just a little. We go from 981 to 983. So that means it's not as potent as it was when it was back here over Kansas. But still, lines of showers here and the winds really howling here about late morning, midday on Monday, right. Excuse me, late morning. This up and down temperature thing, it gets you, don't it? It gets me just like it gets you guys. But the good news is this is a fast mover and it's out of here and we're done with it. We're done with it once we get into Monday afternoon, and almost immediately the winds begin to relax by Monday evening into Tuesday, and the rain is gone as well. All right. A couple of more maps to show you here, the surface maps, and then we're done. As we can see, we've got just this little instability over the area. Not really instability, it's just a little weak trough, straw, again, siphoning up the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific flow. There's the big low that's coming in offshore, and we can watch it go across the country today as we dry out a little, but then those little pesky showers will show up just about any place, anytime. Look at this thing gaining strength now. More overrunning moisture for us, just squeezing out raindrops and drizzle. But now this thing gets going. Here it is Monday, actually Sunday night into Monday. The winds start to pick up. Thunderstorms, some of those severe, as I mentioned, over Texas and Oklahoma. And then there it goes. I mean, this is Monday, midday, and it goes right up into the Great Lakes. Look at the mess it's going to cause there. That's ice and snow and freezing rain. Big problems again there, and they're still dealing with power outages up in the Great Lakes. But look how fast it's gone. This is Tuesday. It's over. It's gone. It's out of here. Here comes a warm front that'll meet us on Wednesday into Thursday with another cold front, this one with just showers. I don't see anything. Oh, well, there you go. I forgot to turn it on. Sorry. But you get the gist of this. It's just all of this is gone in pretty quick fashion. I really don't. Let me back it up here. See that? There it is. Here's the low. Boom. There's the worst of it on Monday. And by Tuesday, look, it's gone. It's up in Canada. Warm front moves in on Wednesday. Then we get some showers with a cold front on Thursday. But these are just general showers, not a big deal. Okay. All right. Oh, I did want to show you one. Just sorry. One more thing. Just one more thing. Oh, Colombo. Just one more thing. Here is the severe weather outlook. And again, you have to take this in the context that it is. Storm Prediction Center saying Kentucky, severe weather outlook, Monday. Notice that it's a marginal to a level 2 slight risk in the center part of the state. This is for the wind. Tornado risk not there. Even thunder, lightning risk not there. There may be a little, but this is just going to be gusty showers. And because the winds will reach severe criteria, they've put out that outlook for Monday. But it's going to be all about the wind, my friend. All right. Thanks, you guys, for putting up with me and my coughs and not turning the doggone maps on and all. It's Saturday. Anyway, well, I'm a little distracted. I'm in the process of revamping the room here at home. The other side of the screen here, it is a wreck. I'm doing a breakdown today after this podcast is over, doing a breakdown, reworking some things. I'm getting new desks and stuff to try to improve. It's a work in progress always, but so I'm a little distracted by that. But anyway, you guys have a great Saturday. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.